Hey guys, as promised, round number 3 between Gift and as promised, round number 3 and you guys can hear my evil clone there in the background, or doppelganger as they would say. This time it is a match between two Masters players. I think all the diamonds are actually getting weeded out, and CLS Asgard, I've gone up against this guy a couple times in ladder. Very, very solid Zerg player. Gift, I haven't seen him on ladder play as much, but I know he is also a Masters player. So this is going to be an old-fashioned TVZ on Shadow Temples. We are still on round 2. We're waiting for people to start filtering into round 3. However, the players we've been casting have just happened to finish their games very, very quickly. So both players giving the okay to go sign, and we're going to get this started right up. I gotta say, Ramen, TVZ is probably the most dynamic matchup in StarCraft games. And I say dynamic, not like unit choice dynamic, but dynamic in between how two players react to each other. I mean, you're pretty much going to see Zerglings and Banelings and Marines and tanks, but there's a difference between just moving in mass with all your Marines and tanks, or dropping like, you know, pro level players would with dropships and really utilizing every single unit in the Terran arsenal. And I would be very interested to see how Gift goes up against Asgard in this regard. I didn't mean to rhyme there. So Asgard will be spawning as a yellow Zerg on the bottom of Shadow Temples, and Gift's going to be our red Terran, the right-hand corner of Shadow Temples. They will be spawning. I like to say this is more close positions than, you know, like a spawn on the left-hand side. I know that, you know, straight line distance, yes, they're closer, but in terms of travel distance, I think this actually is much closer than if they were to be side by side.
I think this is going to favor the Terran in many respects. They're going to be able to take that Zilnaga center strong position with some tanks and make pretty easy for them to push out and control the map.
Well, yeah, I really want to see the two barracks pressure play right now. I think that would be excellent for this positioning. Obviously, Gift doesn't know where his opponent is, but if he does a quick scout and happens to scout there out of reaction or naturally, or even if he sees Asgard coming in right now, because if he sees Asgard as he's coming up the ramp, he's going to know that Asgard is in a close position, because no way you're going to get your drone there if you're, you know, in cross position.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like so if he does, let's see if he goes for the... Now, he's putting a refinery down, so we're not going to see 2 racks pressure. Oh, well. Maybe next game. Although, you know, I have been known to do this. I go 2 racks pressure, but, you know, if you put 2 barracks down at the front of the base, you're going to give the Zerg a heads up of what you're going to do. So I'd like to put 1 barracks on the ramp, and then I'll proxy a barracks like behind my mineral so he can't see it. And if he makes it into my base, I'll actually build a refinery, but I won't mine anything out of it. I'll just build it. So that way he's thinking I'm going like some siege tank build, and then I'll show up at his base. Wham! 6 Marines. What?
Definitely can make a pretty effective time push, and I think any sort of time push would have worked pretty well this game, because he did go for the expansion before the spawning pool.
Right, I mean,
he could have definitely had a lot of nice play there with that 2 racks defense there.
Absolutely, the spawning pool is a little bit later. I think it was a 15 spawning pool, 14. He did put down the hatchery before the spawning pool, as you said, so it would have been a perfect type of opening for Gift. I think he's aware of where his opponent is. Right? Oh, he's not actually. Well, if he makes an educated guess.
Yeah, scouting. Yeah.
If all he has to do is make an educated guess, and he should know where his opponent is. But is this drone going to make it out alive? Anybody want to place bets on that? Robin, how about it? Dinner? No.
I
would like to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken tomorrow, so thanks for offering to pay for that. Gift putting down a tech lab, researching STEM super early. Now remember, guys, STEM did get nerfed, so he's going to have to wait an extra 30 seconds for it to research. You know, it doesn't seem like that long of a time, but it sure as hell is. Every time I research it, I look back and I'm like, oh, it should be about finished right now, right? Nope, halfway done.
Now, I'm not sure if, I mean, it definitely should take longer, but even at that time, I'm not sure if CLS Asgard is going to be too ready for this. He's only got the 2 wings out, and looks like he's prioritizing drone production over his actual wing production. And it may end up hurting him pretty heavily if Gift can make that push really effectively.
I think he's going to be okay. I think Asgard is reading this correctly. He's droning up. He realizes his opponent has tech lab, probably going to stem pack. And as a Terran, even if you just stem pack with even 3 barracks, it's going to be about that 7-8 minute mark before you push out, especially with the stem pack not being done. You're not really going to want to move out before the stem pack is done. And that's not even the case this time. Gift is early expanding. He's just going 2 racks, and then he's going to be taking his expansion. So I think Asgard is going to be just fine. He might even get the economic advantage, because I think what he's going to do is drone up until the 7-minute mark, and then start going heavy ground units, even putting down a roach horn.
Nice. Yeah, if he's got the roach, potentially that could definitely help throw that sort of thing off. He's got it going down right now. I think you're right. Yeah, he's looking for that 7-minute mark.
So I was actually just doing a bit of thinking at work today, since I'm usually pretty bored at work. Okay, so get this. Every unit in the Zerg arsenal either attacks with melee or corrosive acid, right? Roaches spit corrosive acid. Banelings blow up into acidic crap that melts you. And who else has projectile green crap? The corruptors and the mutilisks. So can't the Terran just come up with some sort of armor exoskeleton to go over their heavy metal plates that counteracts acid? Hold that thought. A little bit of a skirmish going on here. Asgard suiciding a couple Zerglings, and he actually might be in a little bit of trouble, but those roaches did pop out, so I think they're going to be able to hold off this Marine Force. But yeah, because I've been telling you, Ramen, that I've been watching Breaking Bad. And let me continue that story in just a second. The roaches and the Marines, who's going to be the victor? Oh my God! If stem pack just finished, he might actually be in a really good position to take down these roaches. Obviously Marines are not a good counter to roaches, but stem Marines in this amount, not too shabby. Too many roaches coming from Asgard, though.
Got lots more on the way. He's got 3 more spots out there. 2 more is coming out from his natural. He's going to be able to hold it off.
Yeah, this is fine. So I was saying Breaking Bad, that series where there was one episode where they were trying to melt this dude in a tub, and the punk-ass kid, I don't remember what his name was, but he tried to melt him in the tub and actually melted a hole through the floor where Walt Whitman had told him to make a plastic container. Meantime, Asgard is making a push at Gift's base, and man, this might be actually a really good push.
Yep.
But SCV has good surround on the bunkers. That bunker is staying up really long. I don't know if it's actually going to go down. Will it be able to hold off? Holy crap, it did. However, more units streaming in from Asgard, relentlessly pushing. I don't know how many SCVs he's lost. I'm going to take a look at the income tab right after this. I think he's lost a crazy amount of SCVs. And Gift overextending himself. I don't think he should have taken all the Marines out. Both sides kind of backing off.
Well done by Gift, though. I mean, that was really a good way to hold that off.
That was a good defense.
I did not expect him to actually hold it.
I think he overextended himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to mention they disrupted my story. What the hell? CiG finishing for Gift. He's going to be pretty well fortified for the time being. I think Asgard might want to tech to mute us or make some sort of transition into Infestors. I would love to see Infestor play because of the heavy Marine force that Gift is getting. Infestor with a couple of mind controls could really turn the tide of battle.
Oh, without a doubt, but I think he does that layer tech. I think going for that muted play definitely would be a good move at this point. Not sure if he's going to go for the Infestors. A lot of people are steering away from that just because of the heavy mech that Terran typically go. But you never know. I mean, as you said, he is looking like he is going to get a heavy Marine type army. Definitely would be good to see and would be very effective. But Baneling's probably going to be his priority.
Well, I absolutely think Infestors are the way to go now. Just because I've played against a lot of Master level players that have utilized them to perfection. I mean, I literally don't go Marines against good Master level Zerg players anymore because they pop out a couple Infestors and your Bio Force is absolutely useless. You might as well have just wasted the minerals on SCVs and suicided them into your opponent's face. The Infestor, I honestly think they're a little strong right now. And that's why I've been favoring more of a mech build towards Zerg players. It looks like Asgard is coming up with a couple more Roaches. He's mainly sticking with his Roach Zergling force. No Banelings even in production. This is very surprising.
That's just surprising me. He really hasn't switched to any other sort of tech. He does have this sort of very, very strong, very large army just holding the massive.
Yeah, now these Overlords do have ventral sacks carapace being researched, and they will be able to transport this entire force into their main base. That is exactly what he's doing. He's going to go for a drop. where no units are defending. Oh my god, this could be huge. You can take down so much infrastructure and do a ton of economic damage. There goes the drop right now. The Zerglings are probably going to stream into the mineral line to try to kill as many SCVs as they can. Nope, they're actually just going to go straight.
Oh, they're just going to die. Okay.
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't really agree with that move right there. But he has plenty more Zerglings. Now he's streaming into the sports, but pressing attack aid takes precedence to enemy units. And this attack is doing a ton of damage, but ultimately going to get warded off. I think Gibbs has lost a lot of SCVs. I'm waiting for the team to update. No, not that much. He's still 39 to 41.
That attack could have been a lot better. It's kind of disappointing that he didn't quite do as much damage. He does have one Zergling just sitting in the middle line right now. Two.
And, yeah, maybe these Zerglings are going to make up for what the entire army could. Or they're just going to go down the hill of bullets. Either way.
It's kind of a risky move to do that sort of sacrifice and not, as you said, go to the mineral line with the links and hit the economy pretty hard, because he actually isn't really that far ahead in terms of macro. He does get the third expansion going up, but he's not drawn up South Saturated.
Now Gift is pushing out. This is the perfect time for him to push out. He was probably going WTF, there are no Bailings. He might be thinking that this is a great time, and he would be right. He needs to see those things up, though. It's a little late to see the tanks up. I think that might cost him to attack. Actually,
but I think actually the guy could have defended that just fine. But instead,
Okay, well, a surprising ending coming from this. I actually thought Asgard was in prime position to take the game, but that just goes to show the best of one series, fourth semifinal. So Asgard will be eliminated from this tournament. Gibbs will be moving forward, and hopefully we can catch some more master on master action. That sounded really wrong. master level player.
Master. Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy Jenkins. What an awesome guy. All right, guys, we will see you in just a second in game number 4.